All right. Yeah, as I mentioned, that we'll start with uh, this formula, complex formula, and once this is done, we will start with quality report. Uh, yeah. So let's get into the. So we covered this dashboard. It's very important that you practice because this. See, ideally, it's not like that difficult. All we have made use of VLOOKUP and you know majorly VLOOKUP, and this dashboard controls. And the
Mm-hmm.
dashboard control is super easy. But it's confusing if you not practice. Once you practice and once you figure out, it's super easy. Okay.
Okay.
So all we
Sure.
need to do is like everywhere we have just used pivot tables and VLOOKUP maximum. Okay. Yeah. So VLOOKUP is very important in terms of like creating dashboards, and for MIS, very important thing that you understand this sum ifs, and aggregated formulas. Okay. So let's start with sum if first. Let me just create. So we'll take a real time scenario. Let's say you want to sum. Normal sum is like just like simple sum formula, right? We just want to sum any particular measure. We write like say sum, okay, and then we go to the raw data. Let's say sum of all sales. Okay, so this gives me total sum of all sales. Now if I want to sum based on some condition, let's say I want to sum for, let's say, segment. Okay, I'll take data. Huh. Now my I have a condition. I just don't want to straight away like sum my sales. I want to sum based on my segment. Okay, so I make use of sum if equal to sum if. Now when I do sum if, it is asking three things. Okay, one is range, criteria, and sum range. Okay, so what will be my range is in your raw data, the column which has my segment. Okay, so my range will be column I, which has the segment. My criteria will be, you need to come back to your calculation page. So my criteria will be my the segment that I want to sum. Okay, it has to be only one value. It is not a range. So range is the range that we selected from your raw data. Criteria is from your calculation sheet, and then last thing is it is asking for which particular column we want to sum. I go to raw data and my I want to sum sales. Okay, that's it. The three things it is asking: uh, range, criteria, and sum range. Okay, so now if you see, it is giving me the sum only for the consumer. Okay, now if I drag this formula, okay, it is giving me. We do have to. It's now giving me the sum for the respective segment. Okay, so this is simple. Like when we have the simple aggregated sum formula, then we have sum if. Any questions on sum if?
No.
Okay, all right. So the three things that it's asked for is very first is criteria. Then it asks for, sorry, the first is range, then criteria, then sum range. Okay. So our range was from the raw data where we have segment ka column. The criteria was this from our calculation sheet, and the sum range was again from our raw data where we have sales. Okay. Now let's see an example for sum ifs. Okay, so sum if can be used when where you have only one condition to sum. Okay, so in this particular example, we just had one condition, one criteria, that was sum based on the segment. Now what if we have a multiple uh, conditions, like segment k, Let me build a under segment. Someone is trying to join. All right. uh, where was I? Okay. So this let's build a example for some if. Let's say I take can't paste this here q.
Copy board is
So I have copied the entire column now. So I've copied the entire column now. So this way. Now it will work. Raw data may, let's say if I take state. Okay. Now you may be thinking that this can be done using pivot also, right? But there is a reason. Like when you want to see these formulas you will use when you want to do a runtime calculation. Like when you need a sum value when you want to use in a calculation, that time you would need these formulas. Otherwise, this aggregation we can get from pivot table also. Uh, I'll just remove duplicates. Okay. So now what I want sum based on my segment, and this is my state. Okay. Based on this code to condition, I want my sales ka sum. Okay. I want my sum ifs. Okay. Clear. The requirement is clear. Now this aggregation, like even this aggregation, you see that this can be easily available through pivot table, right? हम लोग pivot करे, row में भी put segment, sales हम लोग का values में भी put, we will get this, you know. So why then we need to use formula? The answer is, when we want to use uh, when we are calculating something, to derive a value, we may need to use this aggregate form, and it will be clear when we start using some ifs for our calculation. Okay, for our next topics. Okay. So because when you are writing a condition, you cannot use pivot table, right? You have to use a formula, and that time we use some ifs and some ifs. This requirement is clear, right? Now there are two conditions, there are multiple conditions. So there can be many, like I'm currently taking only two conditions, but even if like there are more conditions, अगर state के अंदर city भी चाहिए, okay, and in that case also we'll use some ifs. But first let's see with these two condition. Now the formula that we will use is some ifs. Okay. Some ifs में ये देखो ये अलग है. सम इफ में हम लोग देखा था फर्स्ट रेंज था, क्राइटेरिया था, एंड देन सम रेंज था. ओके, राइट. इसमें सम रेंज लास्ट में था, वेयर एज सम इफ्स में सम रेंज विल बी फर्स्ट. सो नाउ माय सम रेंज इज सेल्स. ठीक है. ओके. नाउ द नेक्स्ट थिंग इट इज आस्किंग is criteria range 1. Okay, it is asking for the range criteria range 1. Criteria range 1 is my segment criteria. So I select I column. Now it is asking criteria 1. What is the criteria for my criteria range 1? That is what it is asking if we convert that into the English. So it is asking what is my criteria for my criteria range 1. So that will be my this selection segment ka first cell. Now when we put comma, it is asking for criteria range 2, because we have two conditions. We need to specify the second range for the second range. Now the second range that we want is state. Now it is asking what is the criteria for my range 2, that is criteria 2. So my criteria 2 will be this. Okay, that's it. see, it is asking criteria best because we have only two condition. We'll close our formula here. Okay. So now it is giving me. Okay. You can quickly verify consumer or South Dakota का. Let's say our first one ही है. देखो इसका scale should. Okay. Okay. See, we have this two, and now when we sum the sales, it is 45.73. That is what we have got here. 45.73. Understood?
So the syntax piece will be summits that will
Yeah,
be
I'll
strictly
write the
related.
syntax
Yeah.
here. The first is some range, comma, criteria, range 1. Okay. Then comma, criteria 1. Okay. तो criteria range 1 हम लोग का जो raw data में से भी selected segment का
Uh-huh.
column, and criteria
Correct.
will be this first particular cell.
Correct.
Okay. Now next will be क्या right criteria range 2, that is state ka column from my raw data,
Huh.
and for this the criteria is my state. Okay.
Okay.
Now because we do not have any more conditions, we can close our formula here. That's it. Okay. So this is the syntax. Now if we add one more condition here, let's say city, so there will be like n number of criteria 3, criteria 4. Simple, but it's important to understand the formula and the formula syntax.
So normally in dashboards we will see these happening, but right, if you have more some ifs, then better is a pivot, or sometimes this is helpful.
No, that's
If you
what.
have more than five, six conditions.
It's not like in what do you say? It's not interchangeable. Like if you want,
Uh-huh.
you can use pivot by Sunny. That's what
Okay.
it's like. Uh, the
Specific
for specific
cell.
scenario, you have to use some ifs. You cannot use
Correct.
pivot.
Correct.
That will be more clear when we do this KPI, and the quality also will see. Okay.
Sure.
But KPI में बहुत clear हो जाएगा कि why we are using sum ifs. It's super important formulas. The sum ifs, count ifs, and yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Any questions? Who joined recently? Yes, Sanmit. Any questions?
No, Piyush.
Are you good with like? Do you have a prior understanding of sum if and sum ifs?
Yes, somewhat.
Okay,
I have
good.
been using in current dashboards as well.
Okay, good. All right, we'll move to the next. Then again, if you understand sum if and sum ifs, your count if and count ifs becomes easy. Okay, let's take the same scenario. Count only difference is you want to count instead of sum. Okay, the aggregation is different. Now let's say count if. अभी इसमें because we are not aggregating anything, we are just simply counting the records. Count if there are only two things, because we are not aggregating anything, there is no third one, that is sum range नहीं चाहिए हम लोग को, just count चाहिए. तो it is count if is very simple. First is range and that's criteria, that's it. So when I select range from my raw data, equal to count ifs raw data, this is my range, and my criteria will be, अरे यार मैं नीचे need to write the formula here. count if my range is segment and my criteria is this, sorry, this. Okay, simple. We don't want to specify the range, but it is giving me the count. Okay, again we will make full use of this when we will do our KPI. It is looking very easy right now, but it gets complex when we actually want to make use of it to solve I mean, basically make full use of it to find something. So maybe to build some complex dashboards and all those things, that time we'll actually will extensively use this formulas. Now if I drag it, it is just giving me the count of records, like consumer ka 2586 hai. Let's go and quickly check. I'll filter consumer. Okay, now if you see below, you see the count 2586, so it's correct. Okay, similarly we have this, like now the uh, range. And okay, now let's say count ifs. Okay, count सिंपल, इसमें जो रेंज और क्राइटेरिया था, इसमें इट विल बी मल्टीपल थिंग्स. Like इसमें we were allowed to put only one range and criteria. इसमें we can put multiple range and criteria. That's the only difference. Okay. Now first is our segment, comma, come back to your sheet, uh, consumer, comma, criteria range 2. Range 2 is state, comma, that's it. Okay. Okay. So yeah, इसमें criteria range 1, comma, 1, comma, range 2, comma, 2. Okay. uh, any questions? I think it's very simple. Just 1 minute. Vanshu. Yeah. So I hope everyone is clear with the concept, right? Sum if and sum if. So we'll move to our quality reporting now.
Sure.
Anyone has any question?
No views so
Yashvi,
far.
just 1 minute. Huh? All right. Yeah. So similarly, we have average if, and I'm not covering average if because it's exactly the same as sum if. Okay. So just try it at your end, and in case if you have any questions, you know, you can ask me. So sum if, count if, and now let's see quality. I will close this for now. Now this, let me explain you the scenario. Okay, so quality dashboard can be, it's important to set up a quality tracking mechanism where you have an operations, like you're managing an operations and you want to track the quality. Okay, track the quality of your individuals. We want to understand the overall team quality. Okay, monthly trend of the quality, and then you want to put this score in your KPI scorecard. Your KPI may also have a, KPI scorecard may also have a KPI related to quality. Okay, so basically, you'll first set up the quality mechanism for your team, and then make sure it's automated. There is no like lot of effort every month, and then the same scores goes into your KPI also. Okay, so it's very much related of someone who is managing operations or someone who is into operations. You know, these are very important concepts. Okay. Now let's take an example. So example is there is a team. Okay. Let's say this retail business, like someone is managing a retail business corporations, and they are supporting various clients like Amazon, Big Bazaar, DMart. The example that I have given here. Okay, and there are different team members working under uh, these teams. Okay, some team members are supporting Amazon, some team members are supporting Big Bazaar, and some are supporting DMart. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to track the quality score. Okay, so very first thing you do when you want to track a quality is, let's say you have dashboards, okay, that you want to uh, audit. Okay, you define the checkpoints. Okay, you will define like how many checkpoints you want to check. Let's say there are five important checkpoints which covers the entire. See, you cannot just check each and everything. Yeah, that will be too cumbersome. You strategically decide 20, like 10 or 20 strong checkpoints, which will ensure that it is covering the entire quality of the dashboard. Quality, it is meeting the quality standard. Okay, and now, like once you have defined the quality checkpoint, there is a dedicated team member, or there's a dedicated separate team who look after the quality. Okay, let's say there are 10 members in the operations, and there is one particular member who is responsible for tracking the quality. So what he does every month is he will audit, not every month, like whenever there is a dashboard that needs to be published, he will audit the 20 checkpoints. Okay, and then in case if we find any errors, he will update that in the quality tracker, and that's how the quality score gets generated. Okay, so clear, whatever I the scenario that I have explained is clear. Anyone has any question? Siddharth, you have any question? It's more related to your the business that you are supporting.
Uh, no, so this is basically in terms of I got it. So basically, it's like define the KPIs and then track the overall performance of the team,
Huh.
right? That's what probably it is.
Yeah, so KPI quality can be one of the KPI. Okay,
Yeah.
one of the KPIs. But for like when you set up a when you want to be quality to be a part of KPI, you need to
Hmm.
have a quality tracking mechanism in place, right?
Sure.
Yeah, you need to have a team member who will do quality check. You need to define the quality checkpoints for your products, uh, and then there is a scorecard that generate the quality scores. So that is what we are looking at right now. So we'll
Okay.
see how to create quality scores. Okay, so there are two ways. So one is the simple quality method. Okay, simple quality method is uh, let me take this data. Okay, let's say yeah. Okay, this is the data every month. You are there is a person who is measure auditing the quality. Okay, and these are the four parameters that the person is checking, whether like accurate indexing, accurate category assigned, all line item captured. Yeah, so all these are the four criteria on which quality tracking is done. Let's say उसमें उसको and there are 20. Yeah. So these are the checkpoints. Okay, these are the checkpoints that I was talking about.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the checkpoints that he is checking, and there, like in the month of June, okay, there are 20 instances that he audited. Okay, so this example is particularly related for operations, like invoicing कोई कर रहा है उससे related है ये example,
Mm-hmm.
order anything.
Okay.
So there are 20 total items audited, like let's say 100 किया उसमें
Uh-huh.
से इसने sample 20 audit किया पूरे
Okay.
month में for Amit, and Amit is supporting Amazon का team. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
देन उसमें से अगर उसको कुछ भी ज़ीरो, कुछ भी एरर नहीं मिला, देन इट्स सिंपल sum of all the quality divided by total checkpoints. It will be 1 minus, and in terms of we change it to percentage, the quality is per 100. Okay, कुछ भी नहीं मिला उसको. अभी लेट्स से इफ आई डू इट हियर, यहाँ पे क्वालिटी 90 है बिकॉज उसको दो एरर मिला है. Okay, this is simple method. So the when there is a simple process, this can be utilized. It's very simple. 20 ऑडिट, जितना एरर मिला वो मार्क करते जाएगा, एंड उसके बेसिस पे क्वालिटी स्कोर जनरेट होगा.
Piyush, why did you took one minus in front of some?
See, otherwise it will show zero. If we, if I remove one minus, it will be 0%. Okay, but
Okay,
what we want कि अगर कुछ भी एरर नहीं है तो it should be 100% ना, तो क्वालिटी स्कोर is 100%. Hence we
right.
do one minus.
Okay.
Okay. Now this is a simple, we have calculated based on the very simple method. We have defined मेरा checkpoints यहाँ पे. Okay, then how many instances I've audited. So like let's say it's a standard method a quality member is using, that he always in a month he audits around 20 instances or whatever you call, 20 20 times he audits. Okay, अगर इसमें उसको समझे 5 एरर आ गया तो अकॉर्डिंगली द क्वालिटी स्कोर विल गो डाउन. Okay, simple. Now we will see a weighted average method, which is most commonly used, and that also perfect makes perfect sense in terms of the weighted quality score. Now, very first thing what we need to do is we will give the weightage to the checkpoints. Okay, because let's say किसमें उसने invoice amount डालना ही भूल गया, और एक एक एरर था कि अमाउंट ही मिस्ड ऑन लाइक एंटरिंग अमाउंट ओनली, लाइक, और एक एडेड वन एक्स्ट्रा जीरो, लाइक 1000 का वो 10,000 हो गया. ओके, एंड देन एक मिस्टेक वो किया कि ही जस्ट forgot to update the comments. Okay, so there is a difference in the intensity of two different error, right? One is the severe error and the second is just a formatting error, right? Hence it is important to give weightage to the checkpoints. Getting what I'm saying? So there are two different type of error. One is very severe in nature and one is just and simple कि comments update करना भूल गया, which is not impacting much on your business, right? Hence what we do is we give weightage. Okay, now let's say we have one two three four checkpoints, and accurate indexing common 20% दिया है, but this has to be 100%. मतलब total sum of the is should be 100%. All line items captured को हम लोग ने 50% वेटेज दिया. दिस सम्स टू बी वेरी सिवियर. Okay, map to the correct, and we can interchange. Is completely up to your decision on कितना weightage देना है. Maybe you will discuss with your senior manager or then come up with the weightage for your checkpoints. Okay, now how it is calculated. Okay, यहाँ तक तो सेम है. 20 ये ऑडिट कर रहा है, उसमें से जितना एरर आएगा वो एरर मार्क करेगा. नाउ इन ऑर्डर टू generate a weightage score, we need to multiply your score with the weightage. Okay, so score 1 क्या है? Score 1 is for the first checkpoint, that is ये multiplied by मेरा accurate indexing का weightage, which is this. Okay, what I will do ये do this multiplied by एक्यूरेट इंडेक्सिंग का वेटेज ये है. आई विल फ्रीज द सेल बिकॉज मैं ड्रैग करूँगा तो आई डोंट वांट कि वो हिल जाए. ठीक है, सो आई विल फ्रीज दिस. ओके, सिमिलरली आई विल डू फॉर स्कोर 2 का बेसिकली रहेगा, इट विल बी दिस मल्टीप्लाइड बाय रिस्पेक्टिव चेक पॉइंट का वेटेज, which will be 20%. Okay, I'll do F4. Okay, understood. Then I need to calculate the, अभी वैसा मैंने सबके लिए कर दिया, चारों चेक पॉइंट के लिए कर दिया. आई नीड टू सम द टोटल स्कोर. ओके, इसका सम करना पड़ेगा, which is giving me 0.5. Okay, and then it's the same formula, equal to your total weighted score का sum divided by your total checkpoints. Okay, and then I have to do 1 minus, because this is giving me 3%, ideally it should be 97%, 98% over for decimal. Understood. So this is most commonly used method. We have a simple straightforward process, then we may use simple quality method, but weightage quality is the most commonly used. Any questions?
So Chris, this normally works probably if we have someone dedicated to check the quality of the operations, right? So that can be
I mean,
machine
see,
audit or probably
yeah,
that.
definitely. You need someone to audit. So usually, like in a back office operations, we have a
Uh-huh.
team who is doing the operations, and there is a dedicated people who are responsible for quality.
Correct.
Yeah. So I have worked in this kind of setup when the quality tracking was done. There was a dedicated quality team who does RCA, who does then a lot of keep a lot of sessions on the quality and all those things.
Sure.
So understood. This is very easy, right? I mean, but yeah, just go through it. If you just go through this formula, you'll understand how it is done. But ideally, this is how it needs to be done. Define the checkpoints. So the checkpoints, there should be a lot of focus on uh, defining the checkpoints, so that the checkpoints that you are strategically deciding your checkpoints, it is covering the major aspects of your work. Okay,
Okay.
all right. Now the last thing we will do is, see, when you present it to your senior manager or ये quality dashboard, you present it in a dashboard format. Okay, so मेरे को पहला, like, what all things I need in a dashboard is मेरा team wise quality score. Okay, overall YTD. Okay, YTD team wide, and when I say YTD, जितना month complete हुआ है उतना पूरे साल में, year to date. And then my YTD I want, uh, इसको मैं नाम दे देता हूँ. अभी यहाँ पे we want team member wise YTD score. Okay, and then here, see, here I have used ना drop down नहीं use किया, मैंने validation use किया है, and I will show you. So I, when I'm changing my team member, I'm getting वो particular इसका trend. Okay, yeah, let's see how to build this dashboard. So this I'll keep for your reference, and we'll create one more. Okay, so very first question I want, question that we need to answer is this. मेरा टीम वाइज क्वालिटी स्कोर YTD. अरे ये 3% कैसा आ गया? कहाँ से ले रही है? अच्छा, 1 माइनस नहीं किया आपने. Yeah, you'll see that यहाँ पे we have used some ifs, so I'll make use of some if here. Okay, now let's say team. Okay, and we'll use ये वाला weighted quality, not the simple quality. I mean, the data that we'll use is from weighted quality. Okay, let's डुप्लीकेट्स. हाँ, अभी हम लोग का फॉर्मूला क्या था क्वालिटी ये करने का. तो फॉर्मूला वॉज माई स्कोर. लेट्स सी पुट हियर quality score divided by total checkpoints. नहीं, इक्वल टू क्यों डाला. हाँ, ठीक है. ये हम लोग का फॉर्मूला था. सो वी हैव यूज्ड, यहाँ पे हम लोग ने फॉर्मूला यही यूज़ किया टू फाइंड माई फाइनल माई स्कोर्स. दैट इज़ व्हाट आई हैव डन. ओके, एन टू इज़ माई टोटल स्कोर डिवाइडेड बाई मेरा चेक पॉइंट्स. सो दिस इज okay. But this we have done at an individual level. Wow, now we need to at a team level. Hence we need to make use of sum if. Okay, अभी मैं क्या करूँगा, I'll write sum if my range. My range is मेरा team. Okay, my criteria is मेरा sheet में जाके this one, and my sum range is numerator is my score. So n वाला. Okay, so ये मेरा हो गया numerator. Okay, now it is combinedly giving me my total Amazon का. If I do select Amazon यहाँ पे, if you sum this up n वाला, you will see it is matching 3.5. ठीक है. Now let's find out our denominator. Denominator मतलब इधर I will do divide by, again I'll write sum if. Same thing we need to do weighted quality में जाके. Now my again range is same, team. My criteria is again same, Amazon. Now my sum range is different, which is now my denominator, which is total checkpoints. Okay, it's total checkpoints. That's it. It is giving me mera percentage, but I want should be 1 minus. Okay, understood. ये आ गया मेरा टीम वाइज quality score. I'll simply create a chart out of it. Okay, I change the chart type to this. I change the heading. YTD. ये मैंने इसके ऊपर डाल दिया तो किसी को दिखेगा नहीं. Okay, any questions? All right. Second thing that we need is same thing, team member wise. So what we did for team wise, I'll not do this. It's exactly the same. Okay, let's do this one. ये वाला. Now इसमें I have used a validation instead of drop down. Let's see how to do that. Okay. Let me take the values from here. And because I need trend, I need I'll also take this. Okay, the very first thing we'll do, uh, we'll create a validation. Okay, so you need to place your cursor on the selection, go to data. ये validation है, data validation. You need to select list. अब list में I will select मेरा नाम. So it becomes it likes. Now normally it will not look like ऐसा लगेगा कुछ है ही नहीं, but when you put the cursor there is a drop down and there are values in it. I'm sure like most of you have already used this validation somewhere. Let's color it so that we remember. All right, now what we want is this, जिसका भी मैं select करूँ उसका month wise trend आए quality का. Okay, now yeah, we look up करेंगे कि sum if करेंगे. Yeah, so there are two ways to do it. Okay, I will use VLOOKUP here. Okay, this can be done using some if also, but I'll do VLOOKUP. uh, let's see how to do using VLOOKUP. Okay, now एक minute. इन माई ये इसमें मेरे को एक यूनिक की बनाने का है, विच इज़ ऑलरेडी बनाया हुआ है मैंने. ओके, सो यूनिक की मैंने क्या बनाया है, इट्स बेस्ड ऑन नेम एंड मंथ. ओके, एंड यू विल अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई आई हैव क्रिएटेड दिस की. ओके, की फॉर विच आई एम गोइंग टू मेक यूज ऑफ दिस इन माई क्वालिटी डैशबोर्ड. ये क्या आ गया? ओके, सो आई डू वी लुकअप वैल्यू में आई यूज कॉन्कैटिनेट. ओके, concatenate क्या है कि it basically combines two values. So what I want is whatever I select here, okay, comma मेरा month, but month मैं पूरा freeze नहीं करूँगा, I will just freeze row because मैं drag करना, तो I want that to change from June, July, August. Okay, now this is my lookup value. My table array is यहाँ से I want मेरे को चाहिए ये, दिस इज़ माई पोजीशन. अभी ये कौन सा पोजीशन है, कहाँ पे आ रहा है, नंबर कहाँ पे आ रहा है, 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. ओके, 14 पोजीशन, कॉमा 14 कॉमा 0. क्या हो गया इसको, अच्छा हाँ सॉरी, फॉर्मूला बराबर है लेकिन हम लोग को वी नीड टू सिलेक्ट समथिंग ना यहाँ पे. लेट्स सी अमित. ओके, सो what I am doing, I am doing a VLOOKUP. Okay, VLOOKUP से I am bringing the form. ये से मेरा data is at okay employee level, employee and month level. Okay, so what I did, ये मैंने यहाँ पे key create किया और उसके basis में I am bringing the value here and based on the two condition. One is my uh, the name of the team member and month. Okay, so this becomes my lookup value. Okay, or 14, that is we want total score. Now this will be divided by, again we look up concatenate, again same thing, this will be freeze comma. So ये क्या कर रहा समझाना, ये दो दो इसको और इसको कंबाइन कर रहा है. एग्जैक्टली इट इज क्रिएटिंग, जो की में जो वैल्यू है ना एग्जैक्टली वैसे ही क्रिएट कर रहा हूँ. कॉन्कैटिनेट को क्लोज करूँगा, सेम थिंग वेटेड. नाउ इसमें आई वांट टोटल चेक पॉइंट्स. अभी इतना ही लेगा तो भी चलेगा. आइडियली बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस लाइक वी नो दैट इट्स ए 5th comma 5 comma 0. Okay, happy I got the quality score, I'll do 1 minus. Now this is giving me okay. And if I क्या हो गया, अच्छा वी नीड टू फ्रीज ये F4 F4. Okay, so now let's see if we can do it using sum if also. Okay, let me try sum if. मेरे को लग रहा है कर सकते हैं. That will be थोड़ा easy for you. Okay, sum ifs, not sum if, sum ifs, sum range. Very first thing is sum range, which is my score. Okay, low score. My criteria range one is my team member. Okay, uh, same. My criteria is my team member that I'm selecting. Okay, so that will be this. So is this comma criteria 2 is my month का ये column month or my selection will be ये but this will be only row freeze because I want to drag it on the right. Now let's see 0.4. This is my numerator. Let's see denominator भी डाल के uh, I'll copy this. I'll use a shortcut. मैं इसको copy कर डालता हूँ. Because everything is same, we just need to change the sum range, right? Doesn't make sense to write each and everything again. All we need to do is ये जो है n की जगह पे ये आएगा. एक मिनट देख लेते हैं क्या आएगा. n की जगह पे आएगा e. So we can just simply ये इसको चेंज करके हम लोग सॉरी इसको जगह पे चेंज करके हम लोग e कर देंगे. तो हो गया हम लोग का डिनोमिनेटर रेडी. Okay, and I will do 1 minus. Okay, okay, we are not freeze properly. लेट्स सी. हाँ, इस सबको फ्रीज करना पड़ेगा आपको. F4 it should work now. Okay, see हो रहा है. So there are multiple ways to do things. Okay, so I've done both ways. We look up और ये sum if. Whichever way you are comfortable, you can do this. Now I'll create a chart out of it, a line chart. Any questions?
No, that's clear. Push.
Yeah. I think you just need to practice this. Just go through these formulas I have done. To understand कि ये concatenate क्यों use किया है and everything. I think it's important that you practice. Find time. If you're not saying you're not getting time, find time because this has to be the priority.
Piyush, can you please explain sum ifs,
Yeah.
the formula you have used?
Huh.
Yeah,
Huh.
how
So
it is
what?
derived?
Yeah. So we need to sum based on two conditions. The first condition है हम लोग का team member और the second condition है हम लोग का month. Okay. तो मेरा जो sum if रहेगा it will be like very sum ifs. First sum range. Okay, so sum range will be मेरा numerator का. First we are trying to find out numerator, which is my column man. Okay, second is we are seeing criteria range. Okay, so as I said we have two conditions. One is the name, team name. Okay, ये
Okay.
और इसका जो criteria है वो आ रहा है मेरा dynamic selection से. So hence I will keep it here. Whatever I select वो हम लोग को sum देना चाहिए ना.
Okay.
जो भी मैं
Whatever it
select
was
करूँ, हाँ,
selected, data
whatever,
validation. Yeah.
हाँ, data validation से it should give me the sum. Now this will freeze. Okay. But then now the second criteria is my month. Okay. Then वो मेरे को I will select it this particular cell. Okay.
Okay.
और इसको I will have to सिर्फ रो फ्रीज करना पड़ेगा बिकॉज आई नीड टू ड्रैग इट ऑन द राइट एंड आई वांट नीड दैट टू चेंज जून का जुलाई होना चाहिए. ठीक है,
Yes.
समझा. So similarly
Yes, yes.
I yeah it's similarly I did for numerator and denominator also. So all I did कि numerator में everything is same except मेरा sum range. तो मैंने मैन्युअली उसको फाइंड करके मैंने उसका e कर दिया n का. समझा.
Whenever we are deriving the formulas in the percentage for sum ifs, it is mandatory to use 1 minus.
Yes, I uh, yes, I think yes. Every time we'll have to do one minus when we do sum if. Yeah, because you're finding in percentage ना.
Yes.
बराबर.
Thanks, Pish. These
Yeah.
are the two questions.
हाँ, and then this basically when you and जैसे 3% आएगा तो we can definitely you should know that there is something wrong, right? It cannot be 3%. इतना लो तो रह नहीं सकता है. So that's why you put 1 minus and see. So this is how you learn मतलब. Okay. ठीक है. So I'll share this with you all and practice. Practice is important. Find time. अगर रात को 1 घंटा कम सोना पड़े तो कम सो, but practice is important. Else it will be challenging. आगे का जब topics है, it's like super complex topics. uh, KPI is the most complex one that we are going to see. उसके बाद resource utilization where we will make use of this count ifs and sum ifs and so अभी ये कैसा, ये अपने को just when you need to be so comfortable कि you should able to think इसमें क्या look use करना है, VLOOKUP use करना है, sum if use करना है. So first I thought VLOOKUP, then I just thought of trying sum if it were working or not. So those at that level you should reach. वो कंफर्ट लेवल के इमीडिएटली देख के सिनेरियो देख के समझ में आना चाहिए कि उधर कौन सा सिनेरियो फॉर्मूला यूज होगा, वेदर वी नीड टू यूज वी लुक अप और सम इफ और गेट कीवर्ड से करना है वैसा. ओके. या आई थिंक वी आर ऑन टाइम और मैच भी स्टार्ट हो गया रहेगा. लेट्स एंड द सेशन टुडे हियर and then we can connect next week. I'll share everything by evening today.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you
Pish.
very much.
Thanks, Piyush.